Hello, everyone, and welcome to the HP Podcast, episode number 366. I'm Ben, and with me today are the beautiful boys. Hello, beautiful boys. Brandon, you're looking extra beautiful today because your hair is more feathered than normal, I feel like.
Yeah, usually, I don't know, I just let it dry naturally, and it's just started to do this nice little thing. If I fall asleep when it's wet, it looks all fucked, but when I let it dry naturally and have time to fully dry before I start fucking it up with the pillow, it's much more favorable. And I got a beard trim at the barber today, so I'm feeling rather dapper. I've had an excellent day, gentlemen. A very excellent day indeed. Very productive day. Went to the liquor store, so you always know that's a good day.
Nice.
And that's where I got the soju I had mentioned before the show. Very good. My first time having soju. And I've heard a lot about it, and the hype is real. This isn't an overhyped thing. Like, people say this shit's good. It is good. And I know my way around alcohol. This shit is good.
Brandon, I'm going to send you a link real quick.
The strawberry soju.
I'm sending you a link in our Discord chat. I want you to just look at this person and tell me if it's you.
Rune or... Let me see here. Not as handsome as me.
Yeah.
By a long shot.
Well, that's obvious, yeah.
But I would say it's a decent ripoff. It's not the worst ripoff I've ever seen.
This is a game I helped publish a little bit earlier this year, and I sent it to Mr. Matty, I think, at one point because I was like, this is him. He has more of a goatee
He does.
than you do. You have more of a beard, but it's a game called Rune Arc if anybody wants to look at it. Not an ad. Just thought it looked like Brandon a little bit.
Hashtag ad.
Dave, how you doing?
I'm just swept up in this picture now. He's definitely, I see the Maddie thing, but like as you mentioned off the top, the feathering that Brandon has right now that I really like, by the way, Brandon. It's good, and I really see that here. So yeah, I'm good. I'm a little hot and bothered right now, but good. Had an early dinner tonight. I barbecued some chicken hearts, which was good. Throw on a skewer. Yeah,
Interesting.
I know. It's the first time I had them, I was really weirded out because they actually look like little hearts. Obviously, like you don't like cut them up or anything. You're just eating little hearts, but they literally just taste like little dense chunks of dark meat, and you throw them on like a little piece of pita, some onions, some pickles, bit of mayo. It's nice.
So did you deheart the chickens yourself?
Yeah, that's the question I was going to ask actually.
Yeah. Just if you grab them by the ribs in the right part, you do that. Just like ripping a phone book. You guys have all done that.
I'm not a biologist. Do you find more than one heart in a chicken, or is it just kind of like
No.
an RNG thing? Sometimes you find two.
No, it's you get the chicken heart blueprint and you make them whatever you want.
You can craft it with miscellaneous meat that's found in the world.
No, it's good. You get a nice char on them on the barbecue, and it's. I know it's weird. I felt the same way the first time I had them, but I wouldn't say it's a fixture in our house, but we do have them quite a bit, and they're really good for you. So yeah, chicken hearts, it's good. You know the old adage, you eat every part of the animal.
Oh, I know it. I just don't follow it.
Yeah, the more parts I've tried, the more cod tongue. That was the first weird thing I tried. That was a different part of the animal, and again, just looks just like a tongue.
Yeah.
And surprisingly good. I had it on
Cow
the East Coast.
tongue?
Cod
tongue.
Cod, yeah.
Cow tongue is a similar kind of thing. It looks like a cow tongue.
Fish have tongues?
They do. I know. They have teeth too. Like
I know fish have teeth. Like I've caught fish, but I've never opened a fish's mouth that I've caught and been like, "Oh, there's a tongue in there." It's usually just a fucking mouth.
No, and it looks a lot like just yours and my tongue, just obviously a lot smaller and good with a bit of lemon and some light breading and oil.
So you eat everything, including the lips of the assholes of the animal as well.
I haven't tried an asshole.
How's your
but
wife
lips,
feel about that?
I'm sure. You never go ass to mouth. Yeah, but
So
I don't know. Be adventurous. Anything charred tastes good, you know. So
anything,
I don't.
anything, Dave.
I don't know about that,
a
Dave.
bit of char makes it good. Do you guys have your own barbecue? It's like charcoal,
I used to.
propane.
I'm more of a gas guy. I feel like the charcoal is the superior flavor and grilling technology. The bang for your buck is there, but the effort to time value that the charcoal takes as opposed to the gas is just the gas is just so convenient. And it's not the same, it's not as good, but it is better than cooking on a pan inside.
Right.
But the charcoal is superior by far. Although gas grills have come a lot of ways. You can put like the wood chip things in there now to get like a kind of faux smoke going on. I've seen a lot of things come up like that, and I've considered that. This summer I'm going to be re-entering the grill market after losing mine in a tragic incident.
How'd you lose it?
Losing? Is there a theft?
My whore ex-fiance. No, I'm just... No, I'm just kidding. I'm not, but that's all I'm going to say about that.
She took the grill. Damn.
Well, I just kind of left it there.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say, in fairness, he didn't.
Because it was actually trash at that point, and I was kind of like, fuck you, take care of it. And surely she didn't take care of it. She made her dad take care of it. But anyway,
Yeah, I was there. There was no. It was not stolen from you. You chose to leave it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I blame her. So
Yeah. I mean, it's her fault, but
naturally.
it's your decision.
But as this conversation goes on, I still just deeply feel like I should go get the soju.
Do it.
You got time.
So you guys do like the clapping monkey or something. I'll be right back.
I'm not gonna do that.
Oh,
I
Ben,
don't even know what that means.
did you hear that?
No.
Did Ben's audio just get fucked? Did it switch to another input? Talk again.
Hello? Can you hear me?
You're
He's
good.
good.
You're good. It might have just been my ancient fucking iPod earphones shitting out. I'll be right back.
He's got 37 seconds of housekeeping.
This is the DSP podcast. We talk about video games and soju from time to time. If you want to, you can go over to patreon.com/handsomephantom and support the boys and all our endeavors. Not all our endeavors, actually, just the show, basically, and barely that. If you also want to hang out with us and don't want to sign up for the Patreon, you can go over to our Discord and hang out with us, handsomephantom.com/Discord, and we'll be happy to see you there as well. Totally free, no obligation. Otherwise, check out the show. Thursdays on free feeds, Wednesday nights live, and right afterwards we put up the pod. Okay, I can stop vamping now. Brandon's back. I can stop.
I am back. It would have been kind of funny if you guys just sat in complete silence that whole time and to no, we'll wait. We'll wait. Yeah,
Tell the
we'll
audience
wait.
to talk amongst themselves.
I honestly thought about it for a minute, but
This is really good for the audio listeners, but
Plug the brand. Maybe we'll get a sponsorship.
damn so. Damn
There
so.
you go. Damn so if you're listening.
Yeah, hit your boy up. This shit tastes like
Balls
absolute
Guarana
fire.
stopped. They lost our address.
This was
like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
This was like $7, right? And it's not very big, but this is 12% alcohol by volume.
Yeah.
Dude,
Mhm.
this is a value at half the price. And I would pay $20 for this bottle for how good this fucking shit tastes. But I was informed by Dave you could either drink it warm or cold. I've had sake warm, and I know it's not 1-to-1 the exact same thing. And sake is decent warm, but I think it's just a little strange to me. Like, I do prefer it cold.
Interesting.
So, got the 2 little ice cubes in here. Cheers, boys.
Ching ching.
Chink. I can't say that by itself. I have to say chink chink.
Yeah, we were just talking about like Asian liquor. You cannot.
It's
you
not
cannot
intentional
say that
at all.
So close
We've
to
lost
there.
our sponsorship.
I'm so sorry, damn so. My friend doesn't know what he does.
In fairness, I am suffering right now, so I don't know what I'm saying until after I
Get
say
some
it.
soju. Why are you
I
suffering?
think that would actually hurt the problem. My heart's been acting up, so I'm like off kilter. I think drinking alcohol would probably hurt it more at this point than help it.
Have you tried it?
I think if I was going to try it, it would have to be copious amounts.
We can make that happen.
And it would not help it, but it would make me stop thinking about it. So,
And that's all that matters.
well, Brandon, you've really changed my perspective on things. Bring over a bottle of soju later, soju later, and all.
I tend to do that for the worst for people. You're welcome. You're welcome, dude.
First story up is directly from the Microsoft blog. Asha Sharma has been named Executive Vice President, I think that's the title, and CEO of Microsoft Gaming. A message from Satya Nadella. Actually, I don't even want to read this whole thing. We all know this story. We all know what's going on. Everybody who's listening or watching or whatever knows what's going on. You guys know what's going on. On Friday, at the end of the day, they announced that Phil was retiring. Asha, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It was taking over, and Sarah Bond would be leaving. Matt Booty would be moving up. A whole shakeup in general. And there's been a lot of discussion around this, of course. One, Xbox as a brand has been kind of stumbling along for a little while. And it doesn't help that Asha has come into the company being formerly not involved with gaming, which doesn't mean they're going to be bad at gaming. But they were in charge of some AI stuff, which has shaken some people because, nobody hates the AI like the gaming industry hates AI. And then there's been some like scandal stuff, not scandal, but like questionable stuff with her profile on Xbox and a whole bunch of stuff. But I'm just, heat check, boys. How you feeling? Dave, let's start with you.
I'm feeling a lot of different things. I think first off, I'll say this isn't groundbreaking, but I want Microsoft I want Xbox specifically to succeed. I think some of my best gaming memories were from when Xbox and Sony were trading punches, when E3 was awesome, because the showcases were so good and the exclusives were so good, and I just really want not necessarily to go back to that, but I think when there's true competition, everybody benefits. The consumers benefit, publishers benefit, developers benefit, people making hardware, software, whatever it is. It's just good for the market. So um, I, I liked Phil Spencer and I liked Sarah Bond when they got up on stage and presented the last 10 years of Xbox as a brand, because I felt like, especially in the Jim Ryan years, Microsoft and Xbox were almost the more gamer friendly, approachable side. And the golden days of Game Pass were really like, those were when, it appeared that Microsoft was really putting gamers first. So not just looking at the last 2 years, but I think looking at kind of Phil's time as a whole at the top, he presided over some pretty good years at Xbox, and I want Microsoft to take the steps to bring Xbox back to that point. Now, the last few days have been weird. The way that the announcement came down, Phil is retiring effective Monday, is like he didn't voluntarily retire. There were rumblings that this was all lined up last year and it was supposed to happen then, but with Sarah Bond leaving under, I don't want to say mysterious circumstances, but I suspect she wasn't too happy with the appointment. Maybe she thought she was going to move into the role that Sharma did. Um, but it seemed weird the way they instantly started to parade Asha Sharma around on social media and doing interviews and stuff, and I just kind of felt like there needed to be that cooling off period where let Phil get out the door first and then let's start putting her out there, because she doesn't really have much to say yet about strategy, about where we're going. And taking a couple of steps back, reading some of the behind the scenes stuff that's starting to come out now, which again is still hearsay, but the everything's an Xbox thing apparently really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and that, it sounds like, was the brainchild of Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer to maybe a lesser extent. So I hope that they move away from that, and I hope that we get to a point where we're back to wanting Xbox consoles and the exclusives being on the console being a reason why you buy it. I don't know if Game Pass is going to survive long, but I'm hopeful. And her maybe not being a gamer and AI writing her posts and actual gamers writing replies on social media and stuff, like all that stuff, it's weird. But she doesn't necessarily need to be a gamer to run a good business. I had some renovations done in the summer, and the guy who owned the company was kind of a dickhead, and the whole project kind of sucked. And he was an okay handyman, but he was shit at running a business. So you don't necessarily have to have expertise in advanced expertise and be a hardcore gamer to be able to run a business, which is what we kind of maybe need for the Xbox division, the gaming division. So I don't really subscribe to the whole notion that like, oh, she's not a gamer, she doesn't know what she's doing. And I also think, with the position that Matt Booty's going to be in, maybe behind the scenes when he's driving some more of the content and the strategy decisions, maybe she'll play more of the figurehead role and he'll kind of drive a little bit more than we think. So I guess to summarize, I understand why people are looking at this negatively, but I think a lot of it is low-hanging fruit, and I think there is reason to think that Microsoft can move in a positive direction. So I'm hopeful. I am. Sorry, that was long-winded, but I had a lot of thoughts there.
No, it's good. Brandon, what do you think?
I think a lot of the initial backlash to Miss Sharma is purely coming from a misogynistic gut reaction sort of thing. And I don't want to really understate that because I really do think, as a gaming community and as a culture, I feel like we oftentimes turn our nose up at women in these positions or in video games in general. And I feel like there's a very important part for women to play in this space, in this art form. And I think a lot of the original hate was stemming from a place of misogyny. But moreover, I guess it's kind of not necessarily Miss Sharma's fault that she's so into AI. I think that it's really a systemic thing. She's been put into this role, and I think this is where Microsoft wants her to be. It's not her fault. That's her expertise, and she's now running the gaming division. I just think that's what the company wants for the future. And so you can be critical of her all you want, but that doesn't mean that it's her fault that she is so AI heavy and AI prevalent. Like, I've been seeing a lot of clips come out about her saying how everything in the future is going to be, AI driven, and we have to kind of get into these models. And it's like, yes, because that's what she was doing. And she got put into this role because clearly Microsoft sees a future in this direction. So be mad at Microsoft and not at this person who has expertise in this field. So, yeah, I mean, I don't like the direction they're going, and I don't blame Miss Sharma for the way things could potentially end up moving forward with Xbox. I want to be hopeful, and I completely agree with Dave. It doesn't necessarily take a gamer to run a good business, even if it's associated with games or directly, encompassing games. But I mean, ideally, the person would also have some sort of inside knowledge or like passion for the things that they are building a business around, but those things aren't mutually exclusive. So, yeah, I mean, I'm hopeful. I guess I have to be because I want Microsoft to succeed. But it's definitely sad to see Spencer go. We've been
Yeah.
critical of him for years, but as it stands and as it will be remembered, I do truly believe he will be remembered fondly. So, yeah, it just sucks, and it's kind of sudden too. I think that's the other thing that kind of hits differently about this is how sudden this change was. But yeah, we'll see, man. It's just, I'll tell you one thing. I was not expecting it. That's for damn sure. So between that and Blue Point, it's been an interesting week or two.
Yeah.
Filled with some surprises. So did you guys talk about that last week?
Blue Point?
No.
No. Sorry. There's one other point I have to make. And
Sorry, you're cut
So-
off, actually.
her
Please wrap it up.
so everybody's talking about her AI experience and her lack of gaming experience, but she's led significant acquisition strategies at some of the largest companies in America. And, some of them, Meta is one of the big ones, Instacart. And I honestly think that thinking might lend itself better to the direction. And again, with Matt Booty close by, Microsoft needs to find a way to get people back into their ecosystem full time without leaning on Game Pass as a crutch. They have all of the assets, they have all of the studios, they still have awesome IP. They can take steps back on the exclusivity stuff or lack thereof. And I think she might be the person to do it. So I think that's an important perspective to put out there on her.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm all about wait and see what happens in this. Like right now, we basically know nothing about what's going to happen or the direction she wants to move in. She's not been vocal in this space before, whatever. So I'm kind of like, sure, give her a shot, whatever. That said, I think she's competent. She's clearly got a good pass, a good record. She's about our age, Dave, I think, and so I would, I would love to be as successful and done as much by this age as she has. So I think that's awesome. So I have no qualms about her as a person or a leader or a director or whatever. My only kind of fear is that you don't have to be a gamer to be in that role, but you do need to have some gaming acumen. I think, a little bit. And that's not to say that can't be learned, like you can't, but I feel like you need to have a little bit of a sense of what's going on or what has been going on. And you can learn that stuff. That's fine. But I think it'll just be a little bit more of a ramp up than it would be if, somebody with her same business and leadership experience had come in who was also knowledgeable about the gaming industry. And what do I know? Maybe she is. She could be knowledgeable and just have never worked in it. And that's totally fine. The one thing I want to say is, despite all of that, like I'm positive or at least hopeful on it, whatever. I did think, like, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist when it comes to this kind of stuff, but there is something weird about the fact that like her profile had like 85 hours logged playing games only within the last month and all of it within like 1 week. That's a little weird. Whatever they tried to do there, I don't buy the excuse that it was like a family sharing account or whatever. I don't think so. They just tried to do something, got caught, and whatever. She should have come in and not revealed her Xbox profile or not had an Xbox profile. I would have been more happy with that than them trying to like shoe something in there that wasn't true and mess around with it. So that's all I'll say. Is I just think that was a little weird and unnecessary. Like, if you want people to take you serious, and I'm not saying this was her fault, it could have been totally done unbeknownst to her. But if you want people to take you serious as a leader and accept it, then you can't try to pull wool over people's eyes.
And that's, I guess, the point I was trying to make earlier, is I think a lot of the criticism she's receiving personally is unmerited, because I think a lot of this and what has happened is not a result of anything she's done. I think that she probably was, put in this position. I'm not saying she wouldn't accept it, but what I'm saying is that if you're going to be mad at anyone, be mad at Microsoft for all of this.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if there's a reason to be mad other than the
people online are. That's the only reason.
Oh,
I'm
I know.
saying. So.
But most people online don't have a reason for anything they do. They just follow some kind of trend or something. But yeah, I think it's fine. I do agree. I will miss Phil, not because I think Xbox is in the best place it's ever been or anything, but because I think he was a cool guy.
Right.
And for what it's worth, I think Sarah Bond was a cool woman as well. Like, they both seem generally likable, approachable people. Whether they were doing great as employees, as leaders, as whatever, I don't know. I'm not under them. I'm not working with them. But as far as them being people, it seemed awesome, and they were cool people to have for the brand. What I do want to know, and this has been echoed a lot this week, is Matt Booty probably also seems like a really cool. He does actually seem like a really cool guy, but I'm just not convinced he should have gotten a promotion out of this. I don't know. It just seems like his division, at least his responsibilities, have been continually in turmoil, whatever the word is.
Tumult.
Mr. Booty has been in turmoil.
Yeah. So I don't know. Seems a little. I was not expecting Phil and Sarah to go out on the same day. I certainly was not expecting, even if I had been expecting that, for Matt Booty to move up. But I mean, what do I know? Everything's different on the inside than it is on the outside. So,
do we think in some way, I don't know. I gotta think that with the way things have been going with Xbox, Phil almost has some sense of relief to be gone while the ship is going down. I don't know.
I mean, it's entirely possible. The guy's been there for 40 years. It's his livelihood. It's all he knows. Everyone he knows is probably somehow, or everyone he knows with work has, either been there over time. Like, I'm sure there's some very mixed emotions, as there is when you leave anything that you've been at for 40 years. Literally, the man bleeds Xbox, but
disgusting.
Yeah, and I, there's been all those rumblings. Of course, it's all rumor. We don't know for sure. We're not firsthand any of it, but been a lot of rumor that stuff has just not happened. That was not his decisions. It was handed to him, and he had to enforce it. He's had to be a spokesperson during some of the, worst times as of late. Not anything like when Don Matrick was all around, but still, he's had a rough go, I think. But so yeah, there's probably some relief on his part, but I imagine he's a human just like the rest of us. He probably feels some sort of sad way about, even if it was his decision, not being there anymore.
I'm kind of hoping that PlayStation looks at this and just says, Herman, man, you're gone. Get Hermy out of there, baby.
it's really interesting how the public, and maybe my own too, the public perception of Herman Hulst has changed from when he was just at Gorilla to when he's moved into a higher leadership role.
Well, because they've been
It's a
eating
fall
shit.
from Gase.
They've been eating so much
Yeah.
shit over the past couple years. And not everything's due to him, but God, I mean, somebody has to take the fall for something. So,
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, story number 2, Horizon Hunters Gathering to get first beta playtest this week, which, by the way, happens to be the same week as the Marathon playtest. With Marathon just around this is from Game Reactor, by the way. With Marathon just around the corner, you might think that Sony would give Bungie's upcoming shooter all the shine it can get ahead of launch. However, on the same weekend as its upcoming major server slam, we're also getting a playtest for Horizon Hunters Gathering. It's unlikely there will be a clash of audiences, but still certainly an interesting way to go about things. I will say this. I will play anything that's free for like a weekend. Like I'll at least try it out once or twice. If Marathon and both of these games I would try. I'm probably more likely to enjoy Marathon, but I would have checked out Horizon Hunters Gathering. But them being at the same time is going to preclude me. Maybe I'm not their target audience, and that's fine, but I'm probably only going to check out one, and it's going to be Marathon this weekend. The closed beta playtest for Horizon Hunters Gathering takes place between the 27th of February and the 1st of March. It'll run from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. CET in EU regions on those days, and 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. PST in North America. You can get access on PlayStation or through PC via Steam. And you need to be a part of the PlayStation beta program to access it. And it goes on to say what you can do in the playtest, etc. Dave, we talked last week when Brandon wasn't here about them doing a survey for this, and now they're doing a playtest. They're doing it on a weird choice of a weekend, but do you make anything of that, and are you going to try it out?
So most importantly, as you mentioned, we're on a 2-week streak of Horizon Hunters Gathering. This is a Horizon Hunters Gathering podcast now, so
Yeah.
I'm out.
accept it.
I'm out, guys. It's been fun.
I think it's important to remember that in theory, a playtest is not meant to be a promotional vehicle. It's supposed to be a playtest. And we've already seen that the approach towards gathering feedback for this game is a bit weird. As a recap to what Ben alluded to, there was a survey that went out to gamers to get their feedback on the trailer, the announcement trailer that came out for Horizon Hunters Gathering. So, yeah, I don't know. We can speculate as to why Sony, who has some say in this, probably most of it, has chosen to have 2 pretty high profile playtests on the same weekend. I mean, one theory is maybe that Sony was seeing a potential Fallout 76 level disaster coming for Marathon. Even though they're calling it a server slam, maybe they were projecting that a lot more people were going to play than they could accommodate. And yes, even though it's called a playtest, it's called a server slam, that's going to lead to very bad press if, nobody can get in and the story is just on queues and wait times and, getting kicked out of games and stuff. Now, I don't think that a Horizon Hunters Gathering playtest is necessarily going to pull a whole lot of people away from Marathon, but it might have some impact. So maybe this is being used as some strategy for that. In any case, I have signed up for the beta program, and I'm hoping I get my invite to Horizon Hunters Gathering because Brandon, last week, this won't surprise you, but I said on this very show that I'm kind of looking forward to Horizon Hunters Gathering. I don't know if I'm gonna be a day one purchaser, but I'm at least intrigued. It looks like it could be a fun game, and this playtest might be a nice way for me to figure out if it's actually going to be something for me. But yeah, in any case, this is a really weird timing, but again, it's a play test. It's not meant to draw people in to make sales or anything. So maybe they're just genuinely trying to test their service, and this is the most convenient time for them to do it. So,
Brandon, we didn't actually get to talk about it with you, but the couple comments you made here have not seemed super positive about Horizon Hunters Gathering.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in it. I think a lot of people are down on it. I think it's really cool. I think this is a huge blunder, though, overall from Sony in general. I mean, you have Bungie here with a lot to prove, with the success of something like Arc Raiders, with the delay of the game indefinitely until we get more information about it. And now we have more information about it, and there's a big hype cycle, and they've been doing a lot of press. Why to then self-cannibalize any promotion, even if the osmosis isn't quite 1-to-1, even if most people aren't going to play both, why then would you stomp on Bungie's toes when clearly they have something to prove here, and they've had a relatively PR negative, relatively interesting run up to the release of this game, and with it coming out so soon. I don't think everybody that's interested in either game is interested in the other, but I still think it's a very questionable decision when both of these studios have very direct ties to Sony directly to kind of self cannibalize. Like I said, I just think it's weird. I just think it's very weird. Of all the weekends, you could have made it the next weekend. You could have made it the weekend before. I just think that it's very nearsighted to do this to Bungie when clearly they need this right now. They're close enough to the game. They want to get as many eyes as they possibly can on the game and as many people as they can into the server slam. I mean, that's the entire idea. But
what if that is the motivation here? What if they are trying? What if they're using? I don't know how all this stuff works, but what if they're trying to test the infrastructure when there are 2 live service games with busy weekends?
yeah, I mean, realistically, working in a data center, it's 2 separate things.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, like, that is irrelevant to me. I don't think that, unless you're going to be these 2, main servers are hosted in the exact same space. Like, I don't know. I don't see any reasonable explanation as to why this game had to be on this weekend. And I think it is very foolish of them to do this. Now, I don't think it's the end of the world. Like, I think that if Destiny just dropped a big DLC, or, that's a bad example because it's still Bungie. But if there was something that was more similar, I think it would be worse. But even so, I think it's very foolish of them to kind of take any thunder away from this studio that they very clearly need to succeed. And moreover, is one of their biggest pushes with Holst and with the company in general is this live service model. And no doubt that Horizon Hunters, whatever the fuck this is, has some live service model in it. I don't know much about the game other than just looking at it. I've seen some stuff, but I'm kind of interested. But it's very strange to take any shine away from something that is your core value moving forward for your company at all. Like, that it strikes me as very odd. And I think they could have done it any other weekend. And to do them both when they're so closely associated in the same company is honestly moronic. I don't have any other way to put it. I don't think it's going to hurt Marathon that much, but to even have the chance of it hurting Marathon is very stupid of Sony, generally, in my opinion. So,
well, I don't disagree with you. It'll be interesting. It's almost as if they really do not see any crossover with these audiences. Or
that's not the way it works, man.
I know, I know, I know it's not. You know it's not. But I'm saying that could be one thing. Or are they trying to bury? They know they need a playtest for Hunter's Horizon Gathering, or whatever it's called. Are they trying to bury it though?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but like, if that were the case, that's still bad because you're burying it at the behest of another game that you really want to succeed and that you need to succeed, right?
Right.
Destiny's hemorrhaging players, and I'm not saying it hasn't made money for 10 years now, but what I'm saying is that they paid a fair amount for that company and the payoff has dwindled since they've bought them. So they need another hit. They especially with all the live service games going under, like, this needs to be something big. And to have a server slam that is so close to the release of the game, it's just like, why would you even chance that? Even if you want to bury it, it's like, of all the games, this is the horse you're trying to sabotage, So
The horse you're trying to eat its heart.
Yeah, you're trying to
Yeah.
grill. A little bit of char on anything is good. That's what I hear.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Back to chat for a minute. We missed a couple things in the Xbox discussion. Radic asks, and probably in a trolly way, but we're still going to answer it earnestly. Honest question. How would you rate Phil Spencer's run since he replaced Matrick? Good, decent, or poor run? Dave?
Good.
Brandon?
I think it's a fine run. I don't think it's legendary by any means, but I think he did well with what he had. You know what I mean? Nothing
He also
great.
had the distraction of the Activision acquisition that he had to wrangle. So there's that.
He had a middling run, which isn't bad. Oftentimes in work, the best thing is to fly underneath the radar. No news is good news. That's what I've found. And people that operate in that way in business are better off in the long run.
I mean, I wouldn't say Phil Spencer's had no news.
No, but what I'm saying is that like he didn't have a legendary run, right?
Yeah.
Like he didn't have a Shuhei Yoshida run. He didn't have a Reggie run. But like that's okay because he still did a good job. Is what I'm saying.
Brandon, I just need to get really specific here. Radek specifically asked good, decent, or poor, and you've yet to answer that.
He said middling and good.
And well, he didn't say good. He said fair.
He said good at the end. Oh, I thought he said good.
I refuse to abide by this disingenuous and ridiculous grading criteria.
I'm gonna say good.
He's Radek, Brandon.
Yeah, that's right. Someone named Really Mad Person popped in and said, at least Phil Spencer played games. His Xbox profile has always been public. And I just, sure, yes, I agree with you. But I just can't help but read that in an angry voice, like as if it were in all caps because of the name of the person is Really Mad Person. So Radek says he likes your hair too, Brandon, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
We talked about that earlier, Radek. If you'd been here, you would have heard it. Derek says, I need to know what happened with Sarah Bond to make her the villain of this Xbox shakeup.
She owned the everything is an Xbox campaign.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been just that people didn't like her decisions. It could have been that maybe she was a tyrant. I don't know. I don't want to like defame a woman who seems perfectly fine. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind scenes that never makes it out publicly until after there's no more threat of retaliation, right? So it could be that. It could just be that like, oh, well, she's gone now, so we can pin everything on her. Or it really could be just that people didn't love the direction and had to go with it anyway. Could also be, and I'm not this guy who usually does this, could be that she's a black female in the gaming industry and predominantly dominated by white men.
Yeah,
I'm not
and it's just the misogynist angle I think cannot be understated as well. Or maybe at the potluck, the company potluck, they just didn't really like her baked beans or something. You know,
she could be a terrible
cook. It could really
cook.
be anything.
She could be like the worst cook imaginable.
Or maybe she just like takes a little bit too long at the water cooler. You never know.
Related differences.
Yeah.
It could be like, did you ever work at a place and like there's a bathroom, and every time you're on your way to the bathroom for whatever purpose, this one guy is always walking in the hall and stops you and you end up like almost peeing yourself? She could be that guy.
Does that happen in your office?
My office is in my bed. It's not my bedroom, but my house. So
Ben's kid stops him and he's just like cordially and politely talking to him, even though he really has to pee.
Does your kid stop you and say, live in the dream?
Live in the dream, man.
Derek says, isn't 4Loop doing a playtest this weekend too? I don't know, but that's not a Sony property, so it wouldn't really... We're talking more about the cannibalization of it rather than potentially missed opportunities or bad timing. But
you know what? It's funny. I do want to say something about 4Loop because I feel like we haven't got a chance to talk about it, and I won't take too long on it. That game looks so fucking bad and generic and awful. I am blown away that they're just jerking each other off so hard on every single promotional thing and talking as if this is some sort of new, interesting idea to have a 4-player zombie. Like they're like the enemies are so dynamic. It like has all of the makings of when like Todd Howard comes out and says it just works. Like everything I've seen about this game, it could be great, but the lead up to this is giving me very much it just works vibes, where we just say how great the game is, or like you go into the Chinese restaurant and it's the delicious chicken and you're like, I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah,
it's like, let it speak for itself.
You know what I think the craziest thing about 4Loop is that since it has been revealed at whatever show that was at the Game Awards, it was revealed, or whatever,
revealed at the showcase, the PlayStation
State
of Play.
Ever since it was revealed, I've not heard a single thing about it. So I have the complete opposite impression of you, Brandon. You're like, you don't like that it's being overhyped, and I'm like, I didn't remember it was a game.
No, I just don't like how they've presented the game. Not overhyped, but like I don't like how they've portrayed the game themselves. That's been strange to me.
Um, Christian, Lazy Wizard, also has complimented your hair tonight, Brandon.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, big dog.
That one doesn't count because he knows you in real life, but
Hey, that counts. Fuck
the other ones count. That's fine. And Radic says For Loop is being published by SIE. I did not know that. So that is a weird move, a weird flex. I'm sure they have some say in when it has a playtest. Again, I didn't know that game existed outside of that announcement. So
it's probably going to be awful.
Well, maybe that's it. This is all just a joke, but Sony is contractually obligated to support a playtest for Loop. They know it's going to be so bad that they're putting 2 of their premier games on a playtest the same weekend. So when it doesn't perform well, they can be like, "Oh, it was because of all the stuff around it." That's it. That's the story. That's the real story. Get Jason Schreier on this.
Call him up.
He probably won't cover For Loop because it involves what's his name.
He's usually in chat though, so can we just talk to him now?
Jason Schreier is usually in chat.
He's usually in chat, so
yeah, that's
He
news
left
to me.
when Ben said chink.
I didn't mean to say it.
I don't know, dude. It was awfully strange timing. That's all.
You
I'm gonna
literally
say.
said chink chink, and I said chink, and then I realized we were talking about something Asian, and it sounded.
It sounds like some backpedaling right now. It sounds like I have Asian friends. That's what you're saying right now, or like I'm part, like I'm one.
No, Brandon, it sounds like I have AIDS. Okay.
Like I don't know what to
I
tell
love
you.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah, yeah, dude. He's like, you remember Rush Hour?
Dude, my youngest has been studying martial arts now because of Jackie Chan.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's really bad at it, but he
That
thinks
guy's a
he's
huge
awesome. So
Dick, not your kid, Jackie Chan.
Are you gonna expose him to good movies like Jet Li movies and Ong Bak and that kind of stuff?
he's seen some of those, but none of them are as exciting, because Jackie Chan's I don't want to say a better actor, but more of an actor than the other guys. They're more martial artist people. He's more of an actor with martial artist skills. It's a whole thing.
Did you got to get him into Bruce Lee, man?
Well, yes, you're right, but I'm trying to think of any of his movies he has seen. Any Bruce Lee movies? Amazon's King of Meat is shutting down less than a year after launch, according to GameSpot. It seems like more and more live service games are dying or being put on life support within mere months of launch. The latest casualty is Amazon Game Studios and developer Glowmade's online multiplayer dungeon crawler party game King of Meat. While King of Meat launched on October 7th of last year on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 5 in a massive marketing blitz, including prominent showcases by well-known streamers and YouTubers like MrBeast, the game found itself struggling to maintain a strong player base. Records on SteamDB show King of Meat struggling to hold a low double-digit player count over the last month. Today, an announcement was posted on the game's official website stating that the game's servers will be shut down on April 9th, with refunds for purchases being given to all players. Boys, this kind of makes me want to buy King of Meat, try it out, and know I'll get refunded for it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just an idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to be real with you guys. When I thought this game was like a game that Mr. Beast hired someone or was working with to make because of how heavily it was marketed with his face. And I imagine he has some kind of Amazon deal. I think his game show is on Amazon. So I imagine there was some kind of tie in there. But anyway, all that to say, this game, I remember it making like every time I saw it, I thought that game's not for me. And then I quit seeing it until this article.
Yeah.
Brandon, did you have any kind of ideas about King of Meat? Any kind of predisposed thoughts, or feel free to talk about Amazon and their terrible game business right now?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know about this game at all. Pardon me for not really realizing it, but I think it's really cool that they named a game after Ben's nickname
Right.
in high school, the King of Meat.
Well, it was college, actually.
Oh, well, it's kind of...
Yeah.
But no, yeah, Amazon continues to continue to show that simply buying your way into the gaming industry doesn't really work out. The amount of money you have does not equals success, and they keep showing that over and over and over again. I kind of just wish they would stop trying and stick to delivering packages to the wrong address.
Mhm. Hey, I
but-
got a package today from him. It was fine.
You're one of the lucky ones. Yeah, I just wish they would stop trying. And I'm not saying everything that they've made has been bad. Some of the stuff they've shut down has been great. New World, notably. But what I'm saying is that clearly this is an investment over a interest in pushing the art forward, and I think that's a very bad way to introduce new things into this space. And so, I know they have unlimited money, so I don't think this will be their last soiree. They just want to hit that one last jackpot. They're like that miner that 98% of gamblers stop gambling before they hit big.
It's true.
Yeah, I just kind of wish they would stop or actually have an investment other than money, an investment in talent, an investment in passion, and build something that is going to stand the test of time and not something that you hire one of the most famous YouTubers to ever exist to promote in the hopes that it will get children to play your game. So, another very sad thing, because I'm sure people that worked on this game were passionate to some extent about it, but Amazon continues to disappoint.
Dave, what without looking? Have you looked up this game?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was the same as you, where I recall this game when it came out and then forgot about it until it was announced it was canceled. And I'm really glad you guys brought up For Loop, because that's what this game reminded me of. Because when For Loop was announced, I don't know if I coined this term, but I'm going to give myself credit for coining the term a boardroom game, in that it was invented in a boardroom. And I look at King of Meat, sorry. And I think a bunch of marketing guys in suits were like, Fall Guys looks cool. And then they Googled what's a popular game genre, and the word dungeon crawler came up, and they mashed it together. And the game appeared to have like a hook that was like enough to bring people in. But if you have a live service game, it has to have enough staying power and depth to keep those people playing only your game.
It had the worm. It didn't have the hook.
There you go. And so it's no surprise, but these boardroom games, we're savvy gamers, they're not going to stick around. Mr. Beast, even him, promoting this game to little fucking Zoomers, they're smart. They've got Fortnite, they've got Roblox. It's going to take a lot to pull that generation away from whatever they're playing. So, now switching gears to kind of Amazon, Brandon, you mentioned it. New World was a big game at one point, and it seemed like one of those games that was going to stick around for a long, long time. It's being shut down next year. You talk about making investments, and we know Amazon has made an investment in Crystal Dynamics, with Tomb Raider being not a games as a service, but hopefully just a story-driven narrative game, single player, not live service. I hope that's not a threat of Amazon's mismanagement. And I hope they can look at Crystal Dynamics and say, you guys know what you're doing. Take the property, reinvent it, do your thing, and they just stay out of it. Because their track record, despite the resources they have, is not good. So yeah, I just hope Lara's safe, because this new kind of direction they're trying to take that franchise, it's intriguing, and I hope it does well. But yeah. Boardroom games don't work.
I just looked up King of Meat on SteamDB, and they had a free weekend back in November, and the game on Steam hit a concurrent high of 320 during that free weekend.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's sustainable.
It's pretty rough.
The good thing is I slipped up there and I said Hall of Meat. So
Yeah.
the good thing about King of Meat is it reminded me of a really good part of Skate from like 15 years ago, which was the Hall of Meat. So there's
Didn't they just lay a bunch of people off?
Yeah, I'm talking about the
Skate
old
team.
Skate. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's fair. I'm looking at this real quick. It's got a mostly positive review score on Steam with 363 reviews. It's interesting.
Bots.
I'm pretty sure that this game was like $20.
Can you still buy it?
No, it is delisted. You could buy it from like a third-party site, buy the key for it or something like that, but I don't know why you would, since it's a live service game.
300 reviews for a game that is published by Amazon and was backed by Mr. Beast is really, really low.
Yes. That is correct.
Yeah.
What's the all-time?
That is the all-time. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, it might not be. It might be just slightly higher than that. Nope, that's the all-time. The
Wow.
all-time is 320.
Reviews.
No, 320 concurrent players on Steam,
Oh, wow.
That's even worse.
and that was during the free weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't follow this game at all, so I can't really comment on the boardroom thing. But I don't doubt what you're saying, Dave. And back to what Brandon said, it does suck because there's probably great people who worked on it who were really passionate about it, and then there's other people who thought, "What's the biggest conglomeration of a mess we can make and have people buy it?" Dave, can you take the next story?
Yep. Second last story. Nacon files for insolvency days before its big showcase and just over 2 weeks before Greedfall 2 releases its full 1.0 version. AA publisher and developer Nacon has filed for insolvency, raising questions over the future of games such as Greedfall 2, Hell is Us, RoboCop, and Test Drive Unlimited. Nacon, which is home to 16 development studios as well as a publishing arm, said it was forced into the decision after its majority shareholder, Big Ben Interactive, failed to make a loan repayment. It has now asked a French court for permission to restructure its debt. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Nacon has a number of AA games under its belt, including Greedfall 2, The Dying World, which will release in its full 1.0 version on March 12th. Nacon this week alerted press to its annual showcase event, dubbed Nacon Connect, which was set for March 4th. It is expected to show off the likes of Cthulhu, The Cosmic Abyss, The Mound, Edge of Memories, and Endurance Motorsports series. And just this morning, Nacon launched the third major update for Dragonkin Banished, which is still in early access. Brandon, any connection with any of these developers, any of these games? What are your thoughts here?
So no. Yeah, I've never played a single game they put out, but I've heard wonderful things about Hell is Us, and it is kind of sad to see that a shareholder kind of tanked an entire company. I hope they do get a motion to restructure their debt. It would be a shame to see someone who does have some pretty good games under their belt, including a game that was very close to me growing up, a game Test Drive, that's kind of been dormant for a long time or had underperforming titles in recent years. But yeah, it's kind of sad to see. I mean, unfortunately, this is just the product of the time. And with the way a lot of developers and companies are consolidating and laying off, this is bound to happen. It kind of sucks, the timing of it, especially when one of their larger IPs was releasing its full 1.0 very, very shortly. I'm sure it is very troubling for fans of this game to hear that sort of thing and for them to go through this so close to when their game goes into 1.0. But I don't know. I hope things work out because I feel like they do have some talent. And yeah, it's just a product of the way the space is going right now. And I'm not surprised that big investors would want to get out at this point with the amount of companies that are absolutely hemorrhaging money, including some of the biggest in the world. We look at Call of Duty, namedly, the IP that can't fail, that can't not succeed. And you know, I'm not surprised that investors and board members are kind of thinking twice about how they put money into things and or if they should get out while the getting's good. So
I'm curious to hear from Ben on when a developer is in this situation where a publisher goes under. How easy is it to go out and find new support? But just kind of specifically looking at Nacon, Spiders is one of the developers that's affected. I loved Greedfall. That game was published under Focus. So I hope that pre-existing relationship with a publisher that's still around means that Spiders isn't going anywhere. I think the fact that their publisher is going under so close to their release of 1.0 for Greedfall 2 means that that game's going to be okay. I have to imagine, like, you know, you can't back out at this point. And with it having such a unique kind of rollout for a single player RPG, you know, that should be unfazed. But and Teon, so that's the developer of, you know, RoboCop, which was kind of a surprise. I don't want to call it a hit, but I never met someone who didn't like that game. And they also did Terminator Resistance, which was another, licensed IP that was really, really well received. So, I look at those two developers and I really wonder what it's like for these kind of mid-sized studios when they lose their publishing partner. Are they done? I have to think it's going to be hard to find someone to fund them going forward, especially if you don't have any, imminent projects coming out. So, I feel for everyone, but but those two were the first that came to mind when I saw this news. So,
Well, it probably depends on what their publisher deal was like. If it was we're going to work with you to get your game out and then we'll take part of the profits, then probably wouldn't be too hard. If it's we're going to give you funding to put your game out, well, most of these games are already out, so they probably got that funding and will either actually end up in a better spot because they don't have to finish paying it back, or we'll just continue to pay it back. Nacon's not totally gone here, but also Nacon, I think he did that. Didn't he do that song "Smack That"?
all on the floor, smack that.
I thought so. It's also worth noting that Nacon published Gollum, so
Did they?
Put him under.
Fuck it.
I lied. It's not sad. Put him in the dirt.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it sucks when any company goes out. I would say there are very, very, very few people in the world who think I'm going to destroy my company and go away. Even if you don't love your job, you're not trying to take the company down, and you're sad when it goes away. So
It depends.
yeah, it does stink, but I think they probably overextended. Like you said, they had a few good hits. I think they just put out Styx Blades of Greed. I'm looking at their publisher page here, which is a game I know I saw a lot about, beloved series, etc. But and then the RoboCop game obviously did pretty well. Other than that, there's a lot of stuff in here they published that probably just should never have been published. They probably made some bad decisions.
And those IP are expensive.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, Terminator. Maybe not as expensive as they used to be, but
RoboCop appeared on PS Plus pretty quick. So I do wonder, despite how well it was received, how well it sold.
I know it sold decently on Steam, but I don't know at what price point.
Right.
I think that was a big game a lot of people flew under the radar and people picked up on sale.
I think you're not wrong, but it did do well at launch. I know it did. Not as well as I think it ended up doing over time. And then they put out that DLC. Well, it was like a standalone, but it was a DLC, which was another $40 on top of it. I don't think it sold as well.
And that's what I'm saying. I think it had a tail. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, yeah, but you're right. I'm not disagreeing with that. But also, like, you need a long tail on games. That's how. I mean, if all the money you made was in the first 2 weeks of your game, which is when it sells the best or the most copies, no company would exist. It's from the pennies that trickle in year over year that really make companies be able to survive. Last story. Wolverine gets a release date. This is from Kotaku. It says Marvel's Wolverine reveals fall release date with plenty of distance from GTA 6. Another one of Sony's PlayStation 5 exclusives has a release date. Insomniac Games revealed that Marvel's Wolverine will arrive on September 15th. That gives the console's tentpole first-party release plenty of buffer room, with Grand Theft Auto 6 coming 2 months later. As Sony's first-party pipeline has slowed during the PS5 generation, we've been getting about 2 big single-player PlayStation Studios exclusives a year. 2026 sees Marathon arrive in March, followed by Saros in May. Wolverine's September release puts it a month before Sony's other fall console exclusive, Marvel Token. Wolverine getting a date this early suggests companies are taking Rockstar Games' renewed commitment to launch GTA 6 on November 19th seriously. Either one of you guys excited for this? I'm excited to see how it is. I mean, it's Insomniac.
Yeah.
It's an IP I like.
It's Insomniac. And even though I didn't really resonate with Spider-Man 2, I thought that it was kind of polished and squeaky clean in a way that I didn't really appreciate about it. This is different. And I'm excited for them to kind of sink their teeth into something a little bit more gritty. By nature, the character is that way to begin with, and one might argue that Peter Parker and Miles Morales are inherently more squeaky clean by the way that the characters operate and were written. but they've already shown some about this game to where it's a little bit more visceral, let's say that. So they certainly know how to make a good game, a game that runs well and plays well. And so for that reason, I'm very excited for it generally. Not even necessarily because of the IP, not that I'm not a Wolverine fan, but I'm a fan of the games that they put out because they play well and they perform. And in some caliber, they resonate with me story wise, even if not always. So.
Dave, what about you?
Yeah, I'm not too hyped about this game. I just have never Wolverine's never really moved the needle too much for me. Um and I haven't even played Spider-Man 2 yet. It is on my list to play this year, but yeah, I don't know. The violence and the gore that they've kind of like I'm glad they've made a game that appears to be true to the source material. And it's not easy to do that, especially when you're trying to appeal to a wide audience. You kind of alienate a pretty large number of gamers out there when you do that. But yeah, it's just, objectively, I think it's a really good way to kick off the holiday season. I'm glad to see that we're getting some significant AAA stuff in the fall, because again, that GTA is going to be a black hole. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe things will change, but at the moment, I'm not really too excited for Wolverine.
Well, let's see how it goes.
I'm excited for Horizon Hunters Gathering, though.
I've heard that about you.
For that, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Boys, it's time to talk about what we've been playing. I'm actually going to go off cam for a minute, but I'll be here. I'll be able to hear you guys. But Brandon, you want to take it away first?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have been playing Ark, non-surprisingly. They came out with new events, 2 new bots, a new project, and the expedition is pretty much over. So been getting back into that. I've been working a bunch recently, so just trying to kind of fill out the new event and kind of check out the new bots. But what I've been playing that's new is Pokemon Emerald. This is a game I have never played. I've played Fire Red, and I played Silver as well as Soul Silver, but I've never played Pokemon Emerald, Ruby, or Sapphire. So now I am playing Emerald, which one might argue is the best of the 3 that came out around that time frame of Gen 3. So yeah, it's been great. It's been great. I think this game is fantastic. Pokemon is a game that I have loved very dearly for many years, and it's kind of fun to kind of get back into that space. I think the story of this game is great. I think the areas are great. Some of the things they've added that I know about that comes in late game. In Emerald, there's like an entire end game section. So after you've beat the final 4, you have stuff to do afterwards. That's kind of a unique thing that was not in Sapphire or Ruby. They added it for Emerald, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I've beaten all the gym leaders, and I now have Waterfall, so I'm able to go up the waterfall to face the final 4. So I am at the very end of the game. It's been a very good experience. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. I will say though, the agility puzzle you have to do to get Rayquaza was insanely fucking annoying because I was using my phone as a touchscreen on this emulator, and you have to be very intentional about the buttons you press and the tactile physical buttons. There is no imitation for them. The touchscreen is not nearly as tactile. So I had a very frustrating experience with a couple of the agility puzzles on the mock bike in Emerald. But after many attempts, I did complete both of them. The one was in the Hidden Temple, and then at the Sky Temple to get Rayquaza at the very end there. But aside from that, it's been fantastic. It's been absolutely fantastic. I've really enjoyed this game, and I think I probably will continue. I think because I do have the goal of beating Game Boy games, I think I probably will go back and play Fire Red now. I unfortunately did limit myself in my New Year's resolution to play Game Boy Advance games because I really want to play Platinum. and that is a DS game. So I unfortunately can't do that to satisfy my challenge, but I still might play it nonetheless. So um, yeah, it's been great. Emulation on phones is great now. And as someone with an iPhone, that's been something that's not always been readily available to me. And now that it is, it's fantastic. So I've been really, really, really enjoying that. But Davey,
Don't
what
you
about
hold,
you?
hold on a second? Don't you have a backbone?
No.
Oh,
Well, my dad has a backbone that he's offered to give me, but I keep forgetting that he has it.
right.
And also, I can't play Nintendo games on that.
You can't. You're sure?
I might be able to jailbreak it, but I don't. That's
Yeah, I would
actually
go
a great
crazy, but
question.
I would just plug it in and see what happens because I was a big kind of mobile no kind of guy, but when I got my game, sir, it literally changed.
Oh, I'm sorry. The backbone. I'm thinking of the. I'm absolutely tripping. You're right. I'm thinking of the portal. My fault. The backbone, the thing
Yeah,
that just attaches your phone to it. That's brilliant. Why I've not done that is beyond me. I absolutely need to do that now. You're
yeah,
right,
man.
Dave.
Like you see how I've turned a corner with mine. So try it out. I don't know if it'll work with an emulator, but it
I'm pretty sure it does. I'm
right.
pretty sure it does. Do you have an iPhone?
No, I have a Pixel.
Okay. So emulation's been like a big thing for you forever.
Right.
But in the past, like, I don't know, 5 years or something, they've been kind of lax about it on iPhones, and I've always had one. So now I'm able to actually do that. I need to check that out on the backbone, though, absolutely.
Right.
That would make it so much easier.
Yeah.
There's like these puzzles where uh, it's a bike that whenever you go like 2 or 3 tiles, it starts to move faster, and you have to go over these tiles while you're going fast or you will fall through down to the floor below, and there's like 3 floors worth of that, and some of them you have to precisely time going around the entire room at full speed and then doubling back at the very end. I was losing my fucking mind. I spent no less than an hour trying to do one of the floors, and I eventually did it. I even saw people bitching about it online. They're like, "This is awful. I can't get through this on emulator." And people like, "Just use Game Shark on this emulator, and you can teleport directly to the top of this tower." And I'm like, "I'm not fucking doing that. That's like against the, you know what I mean? That's like against the spirit of it." But
Yeah.
I finally did it. It took a long time, but
Nice.
yeah, it's been great though. I'm almost finished with it. I'll probably play Red because I mean, as far as or Fire Red. I'm not going to play Red. I'm going to play Fire Red, obviously. But um, of the options, I mean, those are my options on Game Boy: is Sapphire, Ruby, Emerald, which are essentially all the same games. And then I guess I could play like no, yeah, because Fire Red and all those are just remakes of the originals. So yeah, those are the only 2 generations I have options to.
Right.
So
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. Man. Anything else?
No, no, yeah, that's all I've been playing. What about you, dude?
Um, so I finally checked out one of the F1 games. I've been a huge F1 fan for many years, and this has always just kind of been a blind spot for me because I've always felt like I had the full sim package for me with Gran Turismo, but the thing that was always missing for me were the F1 tracks. There's only some of them that are accessible in Gran Turismo, and I thought one of the things I loved to do in Gran Turismo was when F1 weekend was coming up. If that track was in Gran Turismo, I would spend a bunch of time on time trials on that track. So then when I was watching the race, I felt familiar with the track and I knew like what gear they needed to be in, where their entry point was, their exit point, braking point, all that stuff. Just kind of
Right.
enhanced the experience for me. But there's a lot of F1 tracks that are just not in Gran Turismo. So F125, there's a demo for it, so I downloaded it. And the game's on sale right now, so I might take advantage of that. But it really made me appreciate what we have in Gran Turismo. Now, that's not saying F1's a bad game, but I think about the feel, that real nice balance between sim and accessibility that you get with Gran Turismo. The dual sense, it's just something you get used to until it's not there anymore, like the rumble on the triggers and stuff like that you get in
Right.
Gran Turismo that isn't in other racing games. So that's something that I kind of recognize right away. But F1, I'm still really enjoying it. I think it's less of an F1 simulation and more of recreating the experience of being an F1 driver and being part of an F1 weekend. And you know, it's really about the motorsport, you know, managing your tires and your tire temps and your pit strategy and um you know, practice sessions and qualifying and that kind of stuff. And you can get really deep into car settings and managing your team and stuff like that, or you can just drive. It's got a nice set of options and settings for a pretty wide range of fans to get into it. So I'm glad I finally checked it out. Unique thing about this game is this is going to be the first time that I'm aware of that EA is going to skip a release. So there is not going to be an F1 26. Instead, they're going to release an update like DLC in the summer to this game. So I kind of feel like if I do take a jump and make the full purchase, that like I'm going to get some extra bang for my buck. I really like that EA is doing this with this franchise. So yeah, F1 25 is it's been fun, and I'm looking forward to playing more of it. I also played a little bit of Arc Raiders. I don't really have much new to say except that I spent some time on my expedition. I've gotten to the last phase, and I'm sorry to say that I'm not going to make it, and I kind of feel shitty about that
You
be-
are, dude.
because of the amount of time. No, so here's the thing. I'm on step 5 of 6, and I couldn't see the steps before. So if I saw what I was working towards, I probably wouldn't have bothered because I have committed all my gear, and I'm still ways away from completing this last step. And it's kind of a shallow feeling because I'm like, well, now what do I do? I don't have enough time to grind to that point because I think the expedition opens like tomorrow or something like that.
Well, no, here, Dave. That's the thing about it, though, is you can complete the entire expedition. Okay, so let's say you complete it, you don't have to leave.
Right.
You
But
will
what
have
if I
all of the
what if I don't complete it? So do I just stay on step 5 of 6
Yes.
until the next expedition
Yeah.
window opens? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like you can literally complete it, and then the expedition window comes up, and you don't have to leave. You
Right.
could wait till next season and do it, or you could continue doing it. Like your progress does not go away.
Right.
All of the progress you've made can be towards the next expedition, or the next one, or the next one. Like that's why I was at the beginning. I was like, take it slow. Like you don't have to dump everything into it because there's no pressure to get it done this expedition. Like just take it as you go.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It was just kind of a bummer when I got to that last step, and I'm like, I'm on the last step, and then I got there and I'm like, this is insurmountable for me to hit in time for the window. But you're right. I mean, it's there. I can kind of tackle it next time, but um yeah, so that's kind of Arc Raiders for me. But you know, with this kind of new experience I've had with Arc Raiders, I am looking forward to Marathon. I don't know if it's going to scratch the same itch for me, but I think since I've kind of taken this plunge on this kind of game, that Marathon might resonate with me a little bit more. So yeah, that's it for me.
Nice. I don't really have a lot to talk about other than Arc Raiders, and then I've been playing Vampire Crawlers, the demo. I played it, a couple times through. It's obviously the new Vampire Survivors roguelike dungeon esque game. I don't have a lot to say about it that's like profound or anything, but I will say if you like Vampire Survivors at all, go check it out. It's really cool how they've it's cool and also like, wow, that was interesting. How much they've integrated into the game that is exactly like Vampire Survivors. It's just a different way to play it. It's a card-based system, and it uses a lot of the same like music and sound effects and the way things operate and everything. So all the skills and everything are really cool. The unlocks, all that kind of stuff. So go check it out if you haven't. It'll probably take over your life if you have an addictive personality to things like Vampire Survivors. It will be a problem for you, as it might be for me. But that's all I have to say about that. And I haven't really played anything else except for Arc Raiders and a little bit of Overwatch. Just been playing a couple rounds every night or most nights with a couple guys. I don't have anything to say about it that's profound. I like Overwatch, but I'm playing it because I want to play with my friends, not because I love Overwatch. So
We did talk about that game unsequeling itself.
no, we didn't because it doesn't matter at all. But
Did
we
they
can
change
sometime if
anything,
you
or
want
did
to.
they literally just quietly drop the 2?
No, I
They
mean,
introduced some new characters and some, a
Yeah.
few new mechanics and stuff, but nothing profound.
I mean, to be honest, the rebrand was decent. They're going to add like 10 new characters in the next year, which is actually very sizable. And I think it's smart of them in the long run and less confusing to have done this. It's what they should have done from the beginning is they should have just updated Overwatch 1 and called it Overwatch. So I think some of the retconning is kind of nice, but it's definitely not going to bring me back.
Did they delete the Toronto map? They should delete Toronto in real life, in my opinion.
Bold
I
take.
don't disagree. After we fucking dog walked you in hockey, we should just get rid of the whole damn thing.
Damn.
I'm sorry, I went a little off there, but
Okay. Okay.
I'll sponsor your citizenship.
Did you say you dogged walked? You didn't watch the game? I assume.
Yeah, it wasn't really a
If
dog
you
walk.
think that we got dogged walked.
Dude, we dog walked an aura.
Okay. Sure did in the dressing room. That's for
Only
sure.
one
Afterwards.
person got the gold medal.
Cash Patel.
Yeah, dude, that was actually kind of wild. That was kind of wild. FBI director.
It all
fucking-
worked out in the end for us. So
I mean, when you consider how the game actually went, it was not a dog walking. When you consider that America, bumbling rednecks, beat the god of hockey in the Olympics, then yeah, it was kind of a dog walking.
And that's
but
what I'm saying. Like we drained the aura of Canada, and like we were aura farming so hard with that win that like the boys up north, like their aura debt is like so large right now,
yeah.
and it's going to take years of aura repayment and aura farming to pay off the aura debt that has been accumulated from this loss.
One of the richest and one of the most populous countries in the world, and this is the first time that you've won in the Olympics best on best. You won in 1980, but that was with college kids. So
Yeah, I mean,
but a
I
win's
guess-
a win, boys.
yeah, but they made a movie about it.
Yeah, but
It was a
I
good
also
movie,
guess
too.
that it's typical for the losers to be bitter, so it's okay.
I'm not bitter. I just said a win's a win.
All right,
It
boys,
was a
it's time to get
very-
out of here.
Very entertaining game. I'll say
It
you,
was.
I got my money's worth.
That's what I've heard.
You didn't watch.
I don't need to watch it. I can feel it, dude. When one of us wins, we all win, dude. That's how it works here. Freedom. Eagles were screeching. I knew something was happening.
All right, everybody, thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you next week. You know the drill about Patreon and Discord and all that kind of stuff. If you don't, rewind to the beginning of the show. Rewind? Am I 85 years old? Thanks, everybody.